Some winners, and great to have your company to see it. Look forward to seeing you next time on The Chase Australia.
Tonight, a mother's terror guided by lasers and guns out of her Kelmscott home with newborn twins. Why she says it was all a big mistake.
Mandurah shop owners in a shoplifting nightmare. Not even barricading the doors stops them. Why staff have no choice but to let them go. Exclusive pictures.
Julian Assange in a British jail with terrorists as the US fights for his extradition.
A global tech giant's shock admission. The workforce hired to listen to your private conversations inside your own home.
Nick Nat steals the show on Derby Eve as the Eagle star reveals his early footy return.
And the fed-up Quokka, sick of selfies.
Live from our Perth headquarters, this is 7 News with Susanna Carr and Rick Arden.
Good evening and welcome to 7 News. We begin tonight with a chilling interview with the mother at the centre of a costly siege that put a Kelmscott school in lockdown and saw police help newborn twins. The woman says it was all a misunderstanding. She thought armed police were foreign invaders and feared for her baby's lives when officers tried to guide her outside using lasers.
The moment a mother ends a siege, one of her twin newborns in her arms.
In my mind, I'm thinking they could think that, you know, this is a fake baby or this is a bomb in my arms or I've got a gun under here or anything. So, I'm sweat pouring off of me, my heart's racing.
For 2 hours, police had Rachel's Kelmscott home surrounded after reports of gunfire. The reason she didn't give herself up sooner.
I actually thought it was a foreign army doing a terrorist attack.
But it was the tactical response group geared up, ready to raid. Over a threat taken so seriously, at the end of the street, Kelmscott Senior High School was put into lockdown.
I'm so sorry to the parents of Kelmscott High School. In no intentions in any way did I try and cause fear to you children.
Today, near the children's toys in Rachel's backyard, police say they found a tree stump with bullet holes in it and a homemade pen gun. Police took both of her twins for health checks. They'd only been home for 3 days after weeks in hospital, born premature.
When you've got machine guns pointing at you and green lasers and, people saying things over a PA and a great big tactical response vehicle and you're getting told to walk at a slow pace and follow a laser with a baby in your arms and my other twin inside, what would anyone think, I was absolutely crapping. I was in fear of my life.
Rachel hasn't been charged over the huge lockdown that ended on her driveway, but she will be summoned to court to face drug allegations. The stay-at-home mum says she knows nothing about that or reports of gunfire. Police are looking for the father of her children. She is just looking forward to raising them in peace.
My house is a safe house.
Joey Catanzaro, 7 News.
A Jim Kids store in Mandurah is being terrorised by thieves with thousands of dollars in stock stolen every week, and staff say they're powerless to stop it. Anna Hay has this exclusive report.
Desperate to stop them, staff barricade the front of the store, but they're powerless and the 4 thieves make a run for it, fleeing with thousands of dollars in goods.
Scoped around the store, started picking up a lot of items, so we kept an eye on them. They continued to grab more items.
Watch as they casually stroll into the sports store. But they had no intention of paying for anything.
It is a bit heartbreaking when you see values stock to that value go out the door continuously, time after time.
And last night, thieves struck again. The store manager says he's powerless to stop it. Afraid if staff grab the shoplifters, it will be the workers who end up charged.
We have no authority to grab anybody or basically touch them. If it's a risk to us, we just let them run.
Jim Kidd says this incident is not an isolated one, with $50,000 worth of stock stolen in the past year from this Mandurah store alone. Jim Kidd says something needs to be done. Warnings and fines for shoplifters are no deterrent.
See some more security put on. Number one, to ensure the safety of our staff here, because it is quite intimidating. But number two, just to protect our profits and let us keep going as a business.
Mandurah Forum say they are working with local police to curb theft and antisocial behaviour. Anna Hay, 7 News.
Julian Assange is tonight in a jail cell as US investigators work on a case to extradite him. American officials want him charged with conspiracy after he was dramatically dragged headfirst from asylum and into custody.
Older, greyer, but still fighting. This was Julian Assange's first moment outside the Ecuadorian embassy in 7 years. Undignified, shouting "This is unlawful," Assange had to be carried into custody after Ecuador withdrew his asylum.
The patience of Ecuador has its limit. His conduct has been disrespectful. This man, a stone in the shoe, stained the walls of our embassy with his faeces.
British police arrested the 47-year-old over a bail breach.
Mr. Speaker, this goes to show that in the United Kingdom, no one is above the law.
After being taken to court, he was convicted of skipping bail. The judge said his behaviour is that of a narcissist who cannot get beyond his own self-interest. But that crime was not today's main game. As the WikiLeaks founder predicted, the US was waiting. An extradition hearing was organised after an arrest warrant was issued, accusing the Australian of conspiring with Chelsea Manning to hack top-secret US military databases in one of the largest compromises of classified information in US history.
These are award-winning publications that WikiLeaks made, which were published by the world's media the world over.
The maximum penalty is 5 years, but
if they get him, he'll be in an American supermax prison for, I would have thought, at least 35, which was the sentence given to Chelsea Manning.
Any extradition will be finalised between the UK and the US.
Look, Julian Assange will get the same consular support and assistance that any other Australian would receive.
Donald Trump, a big fan in 2016 when WikiLeaks released Hillary Clinton's emails.
WikiLeaks! I love WikiLeaks!
Has changed his mind.
I know nothing about WikiLeaks. It's not my thing.
Laurel Irving is live outside the London prison where Julian Assange spent the first night. Laurel, what happens now?
Well, Rick, in the next few hours, he's expected to get a visit from Australian consular officials for the first time since his arrest. His lawyers are also hoping he'll get some urgent medical care, specifically on a suspected heart condition. They say he wasn't able to access proper care while inside the embassy. His lawyers say he is stressed. This is an entirely new life for Julian Assange. It is the highest security prison in Britain. This is where it puts its most notorious criminals, including terrorists. And he's going to be here for at least a month until his next court appearance, and in that time, of course, the US will prepare and finalise its case for extradition to take him to the United States to face those charges. Sue?
Laurel, thank you. Bounce down for Derby 49 is now just 24 hours away, and today it was revealed the absence of star midfielder Nat Fyfe could leave the door open for a new star to fill his shoes. Andrew Brayshaw says he's ready to step up in what's shaping up to be a blockbuster derby for the ages.
The last supper before tomorrow's Derby 49. The Eagles faithful gathered today ahead of the most anticipated derby yet. On the menu, how they'll prepare Andrew Gaff for what Dockers fans might have in store for him after the working over from Collingwood supporters last weekend.
I heard it a few times when I took my first couple of marks, I think halfway through the first quarter, but that's okay. They pay their ticket to do what they want.
Tomorrow, Gaff takes to the field against Andrew Brayshaw for the first time in a proper match since he punched the Dockers youngster last season. Clubs and players insist they've moved on. Brayshaw is more worried about how Freo cover for Nat Fyfe.
With Fyfe out, hopefully I can come a bit more through the midfield and see how I go in there.
Optus Stadium is yet to see a full house. The biggest crowd for a sporting event in WA fell short by around 400 people. Compare that to the MCG on Grand Final Day last year, where the final crowd was just a few people short of capacity. The Eagles think packing out the ground would be easier if their members had access to some of the 6,000 tickets currently available to the general public.
We'd love to get a full house. The difference in crowd that we've experienced the last 12 months is something really special.
The Transport Minister is confident the bus, train and taxi network is as ready as ever to handle the influx, with rideshare drop-off bays now available on the city side of Matagarup Footbridge and a new bus service from Perth's Hills. The game's not an official sellout, with resale tickets from members still becoming available. A batch went on sale at 3 o'clock this afternoon. If you try and buy a ticket and don't have any luck, it's worth checking in again later tonight or tomorrow in case more become available. Of course, if you can't track down a ticket, stay here with us. It's a massive day of sport tomorrow and it's all live and free here on 7. There's the Wonder Mare Winx. It's her farewell race and we'll be bringing that to you from 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then Peel Thunder take on the Eagles in a history-making waffle clash at 1:30. We'll bring you all the Derby build-up live during the news at the special time of 5 o'clock. Then it's Derby 49 from 6 right here on 7. Later in sport, injured Eagles star Nick Natanui reveals when he'll return to the football field. Rick, a heads up, it's a little sooner than you might think.
Thanks, Roy. Should be a great weekend too. 6 vegan activists have been charged over farm break-ins and stealing animals. Less than a week after mass nationwide protests, Perth police revealed 4 women and 2 men were arrested. One of the charges relates to a dead pig being stolen. A cow taken from a farm south of Perth was returned to its owner.
We do call on the farming community to maintain calm on their farm. I think the developments in regards to this matter can provide comfort.
Farmers are being urged not to take action and report any problems to police.
For the first time in history, the future Prime Minister will plead to the nation's voters from Perth. Both leaders look set to take part in the first election debate ever to be held in WA. Rob Scott reports.
Scott Morrison and Bill Shorten head-to-head in Perth. A historic challenge eagerly accepted by the Prime Minister.
The West Australian asked if I would be happy to have a debate in Western Australia. I said absolutely.
Bill Shorten appears a little less eager.
Well, I'm going to be in Perth and I'm going to be at a town hall meeting talking to the people, and I'm more than happy if the other fellow comes along.
Western Australia will be a key battleground this election, with the Liberals defending up to 5 seats. One of those is Hasluck, currently held by Aged Care Minister Ken Wyatt.
That would be great for our state to see the 2 leaders debate here, because we often see them debating in the eastern states. It's our turn.
The debate will be hosted by 7 West Media, but when and where it will be held still has to be determined. The exact format will also depend on when the leaders are available.
I think the challenge is for one of them to give us a date and then the other one to come on that date.
On the first full day of campaigning, both leaders were highly visible, talking to workers, looking for headlines. But not this one. Peter Dutton accusing his Labor opponent, Ali France, an amputee, of using her disability as an excuse for not living in the electorate.
I work in this electorate, I have my office in the electorate, and I live about 5 minutes from the boundary of the electorate.
But says she can't find a suitable house there with wheelchair access.
I find Mr Dutton's comments disgusting.
I think those comments have been taken out of context.
Preferring to push Bill Shorten's buttons on tax, seizing on Treasury costings of Labor tax reforms.
$387 billion over the decade.
Almost twice Labor's original figure.
We're seeing lies now. This is a fairy tale.
Treasury, now headed by Mr Morrison's former chief advisor, later clarifying it did not provide the total figure, wasn't asked to specifically cost Labor's policies and would not do so if asked. Rob Scott, 7 News.
Police searching for missing 69-year-old Mary Ann Nix have found footprints near Bindoon. It's been almost 2 weeks since she vanished. CCTV obtained by 7 News shows Mrs Nix at a supermarket in Bassendean about 7 a.m. on April the 1st. After buying food for her dogs, she drove away in her orange car. The vehicle was found bogged on a dirt track west of Bindoon on Wednesday.
There are fresh privacy concerns tonight after Amazon revealed it has a global team listening to what's said in Australian homes and offices. The company uses recordings from its smart speakers to improve how it responds to commands, but experts say it's not worth the risk.
Amazon promises that Alexa is listening.
Alexa, what is the weather?
And now it seems she really is, and the company's all ears too. The popular virtual assistant, released in Australia at the start of last year, is controlled by voice commands.
Alexa, turn off Jason's lamp.
Amazon now admitting it's hired thousands of employees to listen to what users say, to improve the software and better recognise voice patterns, accents and slang. But there are fears the always listening microphone could possibly capture embarrassing or illegal content. Two Amazon workers even claiming they'd heard a sexual assault but didn't report it to police. Users who are concerned can opt out in the settings section of the app. You can even delete already stored recordings. But privacy experts say the fact that they're there in the first place is a red flag.
Benefits of, being able to play a song just by voice instead of going over and tapping it, to me, doesn't outweigh the creepy privacy risk.
The advice for now, assume Alexa's not the only one listening. In the United States, Amelia Brace, 7 News.
Details of a new Perth measles outbreak. That's ahead.
Plus, a hearing aid game changer. How this tiny device could be a lifesaver.
And the moment that turned this Quokka selfie into an internet sensation.
Then on Today Tonight, residents living in fear, even paying for security patrols.
We've never encountered this before.
The popular weed killer in a multi-million-dollar cancer controversy.
All you can do is work on the best information you've got.
And Easter with Maggie Beer.
Most beautiful time of the year.
Her favourite home recipe.
Nat Fife, Jeremy McGovern, Jesse Hogan, Nick Natanui, Ross Lyon, Adam Simpson, 7 News.
Footy's best team.
It's a ticking time bomb. You're just gonna tell Bella that you shot her dad?
Now, will he confess?
I'm gonna hand myself in.
What?
I need to tell you something important.
Underway next week on 7.
The 12 Up promo is why we bet with Sportsbet. Last night, Sydney were 14 points up at quarter time. We paid them out. Every punter was on Sydney. We paid out at quarter time. They ended up losing the game. Melbourne came back, as we know, and we're up at three-quarter time, and then we paid Melbourne out. So before the end of the game, anybody who'd had a head-to-head bet on Melbourne and Sydney had been paid out. So that's the 12 Up promo. Good luck. Gamble responsibly.
The Nick Scali Autumn Sale ends Sunday. Prices have fallen with savings on quality furniture up to half price. Hurry, the Nick Scali Autumn Sale ends Sunday.
The Wood Heater and Gas Log Fire Clearance Centre. Buy factory direct with huge savings. Australian-made wood heaters and gas log fires at wholesale prices. Wood heaters from $849. Gas log fires from $26.99. 147 Belmont Avenue, Belmont.
It's the big autumn clean-up at your local Stihl dealer with power pricing on now. Battery blowers from only $179 and petrol chainsaws from only $249. Voted #1 for quality. Only at your local Stihl dealer. Better still.
The Nick Scali Autumn Sale ends Sunday. Prices have fallen with savings on quality furniture up to half price. Hurry, the Nick Scali Autumn Sale ends Sunday.
Save at Superchem. Camastone Osteo Relief Paracetamol, $5.99. Inflamax 4% spray, 30ml, $8.99. Maxigesic Paracetamol and Ibuprofen, $4.99. See in store or superchem.com.au.
The Winning Appliances Siemens 3-day sale on now. $300, $600 and $900 cash backs on selected Siemens kitchen packages, plus include the IQ 500 dishwasher for only $500. winningappliances.com.au.
With 4 display centres and 47 pools on display, it's easy to choose your new Buccaneer pool.
The warm weather isn't over yet, so buy now and be swimming in 4 weeks.
Wouldn't you rather be in a Buccaneer pool?
The Nick Scali Autumn Sale ends Sunday. Prices have fallen with savings on quality furniture up to half price. Hurry, the Nick Scali Autumn Sale ends Sunday.
The Australian share market has closed higher today. The ASX 200 was up 52 points. The big 4 banks all gained. Commonwealth Bank jumped almost 2%. And on the currency market, the Aussie dollar fell, buying 71.41 US cents. And in real estate, the market continues to remain flat this month, with 50 auctions scheduled across Perth this weekend. This home on Jenkins Avenue, Nedlands, was the most viewed on realestate.com.au. The auction is at 10 a.m. Also in demand is this house on Wessex Street in Corrine.
We have another measles warning tonight, this time for Perth's southeast. The health department says someone with the contagious infection visited the Livingston Marketplace shopping centre in Canning Vale last Monday and Thursday. Symptoms include flu-like symptoms and a red blotchy rash.
Exclusive pictures now of a suspicious car fire in Perth's northern suburbs. Firefighters were called to the blaze on Collinson Street in Dianella around 11 last night. The ute is a write-off. Police are trying to determine if it was stolen.
There have been harrowing scenes in the US at the murder trial of a police officer who shot dead Australian woman Justine Damon-Ruzcek. Police body cam of the last moments of her life was played in court. Justine's family watched the desperate attempts to save her life, and the moment she was pronounced dead. Mohammed Noor is accused of second-degree murder and manslaughter. He denies the charges.
Many older Australians will know hearing loss can be debilitating and isolating, but now there's help. We're about to show you a new generation of slimline, high-tech hearing aids, which not only enhance the sense of sound, but also patients' overall health.
If you look carefully enough, you'll just be able to see it.
The sound quality is absolutely amazing.
Even more so, the transformation of the humble hearing aid.
They're so small now, people often walk into my clinic and I don't realise they're even in their ears.
Brian Hughes is trialling a first-of-its-kind hearing device, soon to be launched in Australia.
It's turning it into a multi-purpose device.
It's called the Livio Al, a hearing aid that counts steps, remembers where you've been, measures how social you are, and even calls loved ones when you fall.
I do have diabetes and occasionally I've actually flaked out. So this has been really great.
Sensors in the device detect when its user has fallen, sending a signal to a phone and instant alerts to carers or family. Specifically the elderly. A study published earlier this year found hearing aids helped slow the rate of dementia and cognitive decline.
It's actually made me more active.
It's a hearing aid that people want to have.
More information is available on 7news.com.au. Angie Asimus, 7 News.
Now, famous quokkas have been described as the world's happiest animal, but a young Perth boy begs to differ. Video has emerged of the moment Tyler Eadsforth's quokka selfie went horribly wrong. The video was taken in 2017 but has now gone viral. More than 10 million have seen Chris Hemsworth's recent effort at a quokka selfie.
Time for sport now with Ryan Daniels and a surprise injury update from Nick Natanui. Ryan.
Sue, Eagles fans attended a derby lunch today, and as a side dish to their meal, they got some good news from the big ruckman. Details next. Plus, the latest from inside both camps as Derby 49 looms large. And Wondermare Winks prepares for her final run, but is she fully fit?
7news.com.au. Happening now. Before the new Avengers smashes into cinemas, catch up on the explosive The Avengers. Tonight, 8:30 on 7.
This Championships Day, get 4 extra super picks with Tab Touch. Choose boosted odds or run second money back up to $25 on any 4 Australian thoroughbred races. So better your bet with Tab Touch. Gamble responsibly.
The Wood Heater and Gas Log Fire Clearance Centre. Buy factory direct with huge savings. Australian-made wood heaters and gas log fires at wholesale prices. Wood heaters from $849. Gas log fires from $26.99. 147 Belmont Avenue, Belmont.
Find your Easter at Woolworths with hot cross bun varieties. 1 pack $3.50 or 2 packs just $6.
That's why I pick Woolies for Easter.
The Nick Scali Autumn Sale ends Sunday. Prices have fallen with savings on quality furniture up to half price. Hurry, the Nick Scali Autumn Sale ends Sunday.
Scenic's Europe and France river cruising pre-release must end April 30. It's your last chance to secure the best price on 2020 departures and enjoy included flights. See your Scenic agent or call 138 128 today.
What are we doing this weekend?
Just the usual.
Get into Anaconda this weekend for all runners by Adidas, Nike, New Balance and Asics. Only $59. Play more, pay less.
Anaconda!
He was 54. Too young.
I didn't think that she would die at 67.
Bowel cancer kills 80 Australians every week.
He was a really good mate, as well as being my father.
If found early, 90% of bowel cancers can be successfully treated.
If he'd have had the test, he'd probably be alive today.
If you're aged 50 to 74, do the free test when it's sent to your home. It could save your life. Visit bowelcancer.org.au or speak to your doctor.
This Championships Day, get 4 extra super picks with Tab Touch. Choose boosted odds or run second money back up to $25 on any 4 Australian thoroughbred races. So better your bet with Tab Touch. Gamble responsibly.
The federal election has been announced. All Australian citizens aged 18 years or over must be enrolled to vote now. If you've recently changed your name or address, turned 18 or become an Australian citizen, make sure you're enrolled. Your vote will help shape Australia. Enrol or update your details at aec.gov.au or pick up an enrolment form at any post office and return it to the AEC before 8 p.m. Thursday. Authorised by the Electoral Commission of Canberra.
An early present on Derby Eve for Eagles fans, with Nick Natanui revealing he'll be back playing football in just 2 weeks. The star ruckman has recovered from his second serious knee injury. His training load about to hit maximum intensity. Here's Joel Saratzis.
They're scenes you're more likely to see on a red carpet or at a rock concert. But these are Eagles fans wanting a picture with their main man. Nick Nat causing a frenzy at a Derby lunch this afternoon, and rightfully so. The ruckman confirming he's just 2 weeks away from playing footy.
Back in full training, which is a good sign, so probably the injury wasn't to the greater extent of the last one, so not as much bone damage, so I was able to fast-track my rehab.
Incredibly, the All-Australian thinks he'll need to earn his spot in the senior side.
I guess my training's ramped up, and the boys who are playing, they've kind of come down a bit because they've got games on the weekend, so promising signs, a couple of weeks of that, and hopefully get a game or 2 in the waffle for our new West Coast team, and then hopefully can earn my way back into the team.
Andrew Brayshaw will remember his first season of Derbies forever. The 19-year-old revealing today he had to learn what the hype was all about.
I didn't really understand how big a Derby would be coming from Melbourne, and then everyone talks about it when it comes. And obviously the last 2 that I've played in have been really exciting. And I don't think this one will be any different.
The man who caused the headlines last year says his comeback to footy wasn't easy.
I think early in the week I was pretty nervous. Yeah. There was obviously a bit of talk about it, and I was nervous Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but as I got towards later in the week, Thursday, Friday, even Saturday, I was more excited to actually be out there.
Joel Saratzis, 7 News.
And we'll bring you all the Derby build-up live during the news at the special time of 5 o'clock tomorrow. Then it's Derby 49 from 6 o'clock right here on 7. Perth Glory can claim the Premier's plate with a win over the Newcastle Jets on Sunday. Star forward Chris Ikonomidis will miss the clash with a shoulder injury. The coach is confident they've got the firepower to replace him.
A lot of players are fighting hard to get into that team and show their worth. They all feel like they can contribute, which is pleasing for me.
Ikonomidis is expected to be fit for next Thursday's top-of-the-table clash with Sydney FC. It's shaping as one of the moments in Australian sport as Champion Mare Winx races for the final time tomorrow. Royal Randwick has undergone a name change for the day and will be bursting at the seams with around 42,000 fans expected. The numbers are staggering on track for arguably the greatest horse of all time. She's aiming for a 33rd straight win and could take her career prize money to more than $26 million. The race is live on 7 from 1 o'clock tomorrow. I'll see you live from Optus Stadium with Barra tomorrow night for Derby 49. That's all for me for now. Here are Rick and Sue.
Thanks, Ryan. It's a mixed weekend weather-wise.
Sam will have your Derby forecast after the break. Then it's Monica with Today Tonight.
Residents living in fear, paying for security patrols in their suburb.
Families are paying $1,000 a day for security guards.
The popular weed killer at the centre of a multi-million-dollar cancer controversy. Find out the name of Perth's baby dolphin, chosen by a Today Tonight viewer. And Easter with Maggie Beer.
Just absolutely classic.
Her favourite home recipe.
In the Weekend West, get your ultimate guide to the Western Derby. Who holds the key to victory? Every player rated from 44 to 1. Plus 25 biggest Western Derby moments. For Glendinning Allen Medal predictions, all the latest news and opinion. And for the first time, Duff's Derby Dozen. Get the Weekend West. We're for footy.
Left with almost nothing. Their mum has to start again.
It's heartbreaking to see someone that you love go through such a difficult time.
We're all in tears.
It meant a lot to do something nice for you guys. Just the thought of seeing her eyes light up when she walks in the room.
Oh my God! It's beautiful.
This story is quite an extraordinary one.
House Rules, after Easter on 7.
When you reach for pork roast, who knows where you'll end up? Get some pork on your fork.
He was 54, too young.
Bowel cancer kills 80 Australians every week.
If he'd have had the test, he'd probably be alive today.
Aged 50 to 74? Do the free test when it's sent to your home. It could save your life.
Harvey Norman Big Computer and Technology Sale. Rush in for great deals on laptops, headphones, cameras and more. Final days of our computer run-out sale with up to 20% off a huge range of laptops, 2-in-1s, desktops and all-in-ones. Up to 20% off Beats and Sennheiser headphones. Up to 20% off Canon cameras and lenses. Up to 20% off JBL headphones and speakers. Up to 30% off Logitech G gaming accessories. Plus Samsung Galaxy S10 128GB, only 1168. Ends Monday at Harvey Norman.
Go! I was born to move through life. Like, seriously move. Move out, move up, and move fast. Big things move me, and little things. See you, Skippy. A sound, a look, a touch. I move for my passion, to be my best. This is what moves me. What will move you?
Craft Acor's mega sale is now on. Main floor, bathroom and porcelain tiles up to 50% off. And for large orders, make us an offer. Craft Acor, Cannington, Joondalup, Mandurah, Osborne Park and South Fremantle. Craft Acor, best tiles, best prices.
Find your Easter at Woolworths with our 250-gram Cadbury Dairy Milk Bunny. Now just $4 each. Save $3.50.
That's why I pick Woolies for Easter.
The famous Golf Box car park sale is back. Everything in store is reduced to clear. Clubs, bags, apparel, shoes, accessories and more. Hurry, stock won't last at these prices. Osborne Park, Burragoon and Joondalup superstores. Plus Midland and Bunbury. Golf Box, we outfit everyone.
Harvey Norman 4-day bedding floor stock clearance on now. Rush in for up to 50% off floor stock. That's up to 50% off mattress and ensemble floor stock from all the big brands. Up to 50% off bedroom furniture and kids' bedroom furniture floor stock. Up to 50% off a huge range of Manchester floor stock. 4 days only, everything must clear. Up to 50% off floor stock across mattresses, ensembles, bedroom furniture, kids' furniture and Manchester. Don't miss out. 4-day bedding floor stock clearance ends Monday at Harvey Norman.
Go!
Smoking causes 16 different types of cancer. And you have one clear way to reduce your risk.
On Weekend Sunrise, Australia farewells a legend. The emotion and history as Wink saddles up for her final race. Exclusive access and special coverage from 7 a.m.
Now Fuel Watch, Perth's petrol prices. Brought to you by Fuel Watch and 7 News.
Happy Friday. A few clouds around today, but it was a fairly warm one for April, almost 28 degrees. Right now it's 22 and the sea breeze is light. Looking at our extended metro map, and Kalamunda got to 25 today, up to 29 for Bullsbrook, 26 along the coast in Hillary's, 27 for Cottesloe and for Fremantle, and the same in Jandakot and Mandurah. That west coast trough will move inland tomorrow. A weakening tropical low will produce more rain in the Pilbara and Gascoyne, and the suburbs could get some rain as a cold front crosses the southwest on Sunday. Then we'll see a series of fronts next week. On the east coast, showers in Hobart tomorrow, 26 degrees in Brisbane and Sydney, and a cloudy day in Melbourne. Looking around WA, that much needed rainfall over parts of the Pilbara and Gascoyne should continue over the weekend, and we can see a lot of storm activity across the state. Busselton and Margaret River looking fairly clear though. On local waters, east to northeasterlies shifting westerly in the middle of the day, then northwest tomorrow evening. So let's take a look at the forecast in your suburb tomorrow, and we can see there's an afternoon storm risk in some suburbs, including Ellenbrook, Kalamunda, Gosnells, Armidale and in Northam. For the city though, a mostly sunny top of 28 tomorrow, and we'll get down to 18 tonight. If you're heading to the Derby, it should be a pleasant 23 degrees by evening bounce down with westerly winds. On Sunday though, we have a high chance of showers in the morning and afternoon, a cooler 24, and wet and cloudy on Monday and for Tuesday as well. Now here's Monica with Today Tonight.
Sam, thanks. Hello again, and thanks for your company this Friday evening. First, many people may be feeling less safe in their houses at night than they once did. The fear of crime is often one of the biggest concerns. Now some homeowners are paying thousands of dollars for security guards to patrol their suburbs.
But I got that's enough. I just hold him down, the cops are on their way.
If you're watching TV, if you're reading the paper, there's a real fear out there of what's occurring. And you're just hoping that you're not next in the paper.
In terms of women in our city, they're feeling really vulnerable. It's not only women, it's also general crime and gangs as well.
And the fear is real. People are very scared to be out there walking these streets, and you don't see that odd person, especially a female, walking on their own.
On patrol in Fortress, Australia. For 2 decades, Grant has worked in the security industry here and overseas, in some of the worst crime hotspots on the planet. And he's worried about what he's seeing on our streets right now.
People that I know that go into the city, whether they're females or males, don't like to be out on their own anymore. Don't like to be out, whether it's after 8 or 9 p.m. on a Friday, Saturday night, even a weeknight. They're tentative towards being in that position where they're vulnerable.
The father of 2 young children has seen a growing trend in the suburbs, worried residents taking their protection into their own hands, spending their own money to protect themselves.
Well, I've been in the industry 20 years, and I've never seen private security firms engaged by residential streets or councils to protect a set number of streets in an area to ensure there's no crime, there's no home invasions, there's no theft or robberies or car break-ins throughout the night. We've never encountered this before.
But for those who can't afford private security, it's batten down the hatches.
Our routine of a night time now is to check the doors, the windows, make sure everything's locked. You're locking yourself in your home.
Crime in West Australia is actually considered moderate, yet perception of crime is extremely high. A survey of visitors and locals found 77%, almost 8 in 10 people, admit they're still too frightened to walk paths like this on their own, even in broad daylight.
So there's a real feeling of fear.
There is, and that's evident when families are paying $1,000 a day for security guards just to keep themselves safe.
Marie Hamilton Skates is tackling crime head-on, developing a phone app for suburbs and individuals worried about crime.
It has a section where you can post incidents in your community and let people know that something is happening, and anyone within a 20-kilometre radius of that location will be alerted.
But the most important feature, a panic alert, which goes to 2 other people if you get into trouble.
Would you just hit it?
Click the help button.
And that will then go where?
So that will then alert the nominated, it says help sent, and it will alert the nominated contacts that you have in there, and they will then receive a text message with your geolocation and a map and directions of how to get there.
The app also shows every police station nearby and how to get there. And now work is underway to make the panic alert go through to police and make the alert loud.
We're sure that this is going to save lives, but not just that. We see these as absolutely imperative for anyone, whether it's a family, whether you have children, whether you have elderly family members. It would definitely help.
David Richardson reporting there from Sydney. For decades, Roundup has been the planet's first choice for killing weeds. Now it's at the centre of 2 multi-million-dollar court cases in the US. While the victims claim the weed killer caused their cancer, the company says its product is safe.
One of the most popular weed killers on the planet, at the centre of a multi-million-dollar cancer controversy.
Hardeman says repeated use of the weed killer Roundup led to his non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
The issue is Roundup's active ingredient, glyphosate. There have now been 2 major US court cases that essentially put Roundup on trial.
This case was historic.
Both cases hinged on 2 questions. Did glyphosate cause the men's cancers? And did Roundup's parent company Monsanto know it was a risk? Despite its denials, 2 juries have now found it did, or should have, and awarded the men tens of millions of dollars. So what precedent does that set for Australia?
Not a precedent, but of serious interest and concern. And the same kind of evidence presented in those courts would conceivably be presented here.
The scientific evidence isn't just being debated in the courtroom.
There is difference of opinion.
There is increasing evidence that glyphosate does cause cancer.
Cancer epidemiologist Professor Lynn Fritzi was on the World Health Organization panel that classified glyphosate as probably carcinogenic to humans in 2015. But that doesn't mean it will probably cause cancer.
It's a measure of how strong the evidence is. So not how strong the carcinogen is, but how strong the evidence is.
According to Lynn, there is evidence in a number of large independent studies.
They've all shown that there is an association between glyphosate use, particularly a lot of glyphosate use, and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Both US litigants have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
It's an inexact science, and the problem is that the chemistry of the human body is so complex that no one really knows what's happening in the human body. All you can do is work on the best information you've got.
Dr. Mark Immercedes has worked with chemicals his whole career. His nickname is Dr. Chemical. But until the proof is indisputable, he won't be swayed.
Wouldn't you rather err on the side of caution?
Well, if there's no data suggesting that it's carcinogenic, I wouldn't have a problem using it.
So it's really hard to prove because we can't do an experiment on humans. We can't give them long-term exposure to glyphosate at a high level and have a comparison group who don't use glyphosate and see who gets cancer. That's absolutely impossible.
Instead, scientists have to rely on natural experiments, that is, real-world examples and statistics.
The problem with that is people do lots of different things. Someone may spray glyphosate but also spray 10 other types of chemicals.
Basically, lots of uncontrollable variables. So the debate continues. Monsanto will appeal both cases and continues to claim its product is safe. But with such uncertainty, what should people do in their backyards?
There's a doubt about it, and so the best thing to do is to avoid using it if you can.
If you have to use it, both sides recommend full safety gear, but you won't find that information on the back of the bottle.
If you want to find out how to protect yourself, you have to go to the web and download the safety data sheet, which is 16 pages of information. And in section 8, it tells you how you're supposed to protect yourself from the product.
That includes engineering controls, a respirator mask, safety glasses, impervious gloves and cottoned overalls buttoned at the neck and wrist.
So that's what you should be using. That's what the manufacturers recommend you should be using for when you're using glyphosate. And that's just your ordinary garden glyphosate.
If it is perfectly safe, why do you need to wear safety gear?
Well, it's best to wear safety gear with using any chemical. I'd use that when using metho or acetone.
While there are more than 1,000 similar cases pending in the US, it doesn't appear to be happening here.
No clear announcement of a class action or anything like that. So we wait to see. We wait to see.
Sian Doherty reporting. A new WA musical would be right at home on Broadway. After years of hard work, Mima premiered in Perth last night. Graham Butler reports the soaring production pays tribute to many of the migrants who left war-torn Europe and found new homes on the other side of the world.
It's really about friendship and what friendship means in times of war.
This is the spectacular conclusion to years of work. A new musical born here in WA.
It took 3.5 years to write the songs, arias and music.
The story of Mima begins in Italy, a world about to be torn apart by World War II. It's been brought to life with towering sets and soaring voices. Its world premiere right here in Perth.
The story is centred around Mima and her family in pre-war Italy. The story starts off in 1938, and Mima's father was an editor of a newspaper in opposition to Mussolini.
The role of Mima is performed by Marisha Lowworst. She spent 10 years as Andre Rieur's star soprano. Like the story itself, Mima is a musical journey.
It starts off in pre-war jazz, you know, think Benny Goodman, think Peggy Lee. When we get into the tragic bits in Italy, we go into opera.
Mima is inspired by real events, and the story of post-war migration that follows will be familiar to many WA families who left their homelands after the war in Europe. It's been more than 60 years since Mario Matassa and his mother left Italy for a new life in Australia, following in the footsteps of Mario's father.
My father came to Australia in 1955. He came, he got a job, paid for his trip to come here, then organised for us to come, bought a house, and then he paid for us to come here, all within 2 years.
Before coming to Australia, Mario Matassa's father had been a soldier in Italy.
When Mussolini fell, his regiment and his commander said to everyone, you have two choices. You can either go home or you can go and fight for their lives. My father being a farmer, this being October, was just before seeding time. He knew that he needed to be home to do work, so he decided to go home.
In the years following the war, many Italians chose to leave their homes and search for a better life on the other side of the world. Many landed here in Fremantle.
The town where I come from was about 2,500 people. By the mid-50s, it come down to about 1,000 people.
The leaving of home is a theme that resonates through Mima. For the team behind the musical, it's a creative journey they're now watching come to life on stage.
It's quite surreal, actually, to hear the orchestra playing my music, a full orchestra and a cast of over 30 singing. It's surreal.
Mima is on now at the Regal Theatre. Now to one of the biggest shows in the world. Game of Thrones is so massive, it's predicted some workers will be pulling sickies for the season finale. And as Tiffany Warren reports, some fans have taken their obsession to the next level.
Oh, I'm Queen of the North.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Winter is coming.
I look forward to seeing this one.
And so is the much-anticipated final instalment of Game of Thrones.
It's one of the best things on my bucket list, just seeing this final season.
They've got all the merchandise, including an outfit for every occasion.
I have 3 Dany costumes. They're all over the house. This is my most simple one. I have the War Dany, this Dany, and a Dothraki Dany.
Just the money they've put into it and the authenticity of it as well, just how realistic it seems. And it just takes you away from our world.
Some fanatics will be taking the day off work and pulling out all the stops for the big premiere.
First off, going to Coles, grabbing snacks, and then just binge eating while watching. Probably going to watch it over and over again.
In Davron Park, meet the Queen of the North. She's turning heads across the Seven Kingdoms after transforming her chariot with a $4,000 paint job featuring her favourite characters.
I've got two, Jon Snow and Khaleesi.
Sandy's obsession doesn't stop there.
Doormats, cups, flags, blankets, pillows, clothing.
Whatever stands in our way, we will defeat it.
So, with the Iron Throne up for grabs, who will win the final battle? According to our local experts, no one.
They're all gonna die, that's what it is. They're all gonna die. People will just be White Walkers. I'm hoping Drogo will be back as a White Walker as well.
Stay with us. We'll have the forecast for the start of the school holidays later, plus Easter with Maggie Beer. The much-loved cook shows us her favourite home recipe.
Be seduced by what looks the most exciting and fresh and interesting.
And we have a name, thanks to a Today Tonight viewer.
Teams, welcome to the finals. The My Kitchen Rules restaurant will be open. Come on, Lisa, you got it?
Got it.
Come on!
Quick, 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 quick.
Fire up.
Happy 10 years!
Who will be crowned MKR champions?
Hey, it's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. Well done. Thank you, Manu. You are the My Kitchen Rules champions.
My Kitchen Rules. The finals are here. Sunday, 7 o'clock.
Start in front at the jump with Ladbrokes this Saturday. Get fixed odds plus 30% on every runner in races 1 to 4 at Randwick and Caulfield. Ladbrokes. Back yourself.
The Nick Scarley Autumn Sale ends Sunday. Prices have fallen with savings on quality furniture up to half price. Hurry, the Nick Scarley Autumn Sale ends Sunday.
So, Rebecca, why did you switch to Yui?
Well, every year I review my budget, and this year I thought I'd review my car insurance, and I decided to give Yui a try.
How much did Yui save you?
I saved $232.
$232?
Yeah.
That suits a budgeting girl, doesn't it?
I had fantastic service from Yui. I spoke to Matt on the phone, and he was really friendly. I felt like I could just have a great conversation with him.
Is your budget on track?
Well on track now.
Real people, real savings. Try Yui. You can save lots. Call 13Yui or go to yui.com.au.
The Winx Week wildcard is coming. Ladbrokes will release a new limited Winx Week market every hour between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. this Saturday. Ladbrokes. Back yourself.
At Coles, we have thousands of ways to save right across the store.
Coles Australian Pork Boneless Shoulder Roast, just $7.50 a kilo. Save $1.50 a kilo.
If you love to save, good things are happening to prices at Coles.
The Nick Scarley Autumn Sale ends Sunday. Prices have fallen with savings on quality furniture up to half price. Hurry, the Nick Scarley Autumn Sale ends Sunday.
This Championships Day, get 4 extra Super Bigs with Tab Touch. Choose boosted odds or run second money back up to $25 on any 4 Australian thoroughbred races. So better your bet with Tab Touch. Gamble responsibly.
From the ground up, Australia's tradies pitch in, building a home to help the best cause of all.
One of the most unique and heartfelt auctions in Australia.
Packed with the most modern innovations, right down to the kitchen that can clean itself. New Better Homes, coming up next on 7.
With Easter just around the corner, it's time to start thinking about that festive feast to share with your loved ones. And who better to get a few ideas from than Maggie Beer? The famous cook invited Elise Baker into her family kitchen and showed her how to make one of her favourite autumn desserts.
Oh, Easter is the most beautiful time of the year. Whether it's in March or April, it's a time to share a beautiful meal with the family.
No one makes an Easter feast quite like Maggie Beer.
For us, it's more likely to be a beautiful salad of freekeh and quince paste and preserved lemon and lots of fresh herbs. There'll be slow-cooked lamb,
Maggie says an amazing family meal doesn't have to be complicated. Her advice is to do a little pre-planning and keep it simple, so you've got plenty of time to enjoy it with your loved ones.
Be seduced by what looks the most exciting and fresh and interesting, and then figure out how to cook it. Have a bit of a plan in mind, but be diverted by something that just looks fantastic.
And right now at Maggie's home, the beautiful Barossa Valley, it's pear season.
So Maggie, tell me, what are you going to whip up today?
Well, I'm going to poach some of these beautiful pears from our orchard to make them beautifully burnished.
Fantastic.
Something
Sounds
just
good.
very, very simple.
To start, Maggie chops up a ripe pear and pops it in a pan with some verjuice, sherry, saffron and sugar, and puts it on a high heat to form a syrup. Once that liquid in the pan becomes a syrup, drain off your scraps, return the liquid to the pan with a little more verjuice and pop your pear halves in.
Can you see how it's really to a very caramelly syrup? And that's what I want for colour, but I don't want it to go to toffee.
A few more minutes in the pan, then into the oven on a high heat to finish them off. After almost 10 minutes in the oven, it's time to serve up.
This is a share plate, of course.
And to finish it off, a generous serve of Maggie's ice cream.
This is a rich vanilla, which is just absolutely classic with something like the pears. But this is one we've also been playing with, which is using Seppeltsfield Amontillado sherry and raisin. I'm going to put both on.
Beautiful. That just looks delicious. That is divine.
It's about flavour, and it's about the season, and it's about Easter.
And you'll find that on our Facebook page. The forecast in a moment, plus a Perth water baby gets a new name thanks to a Today Tonight viewer. Find out what they're calling this baby dolphin.
A lot of people like to give names that mean something.
It looks like madness.
It's -4 degrees.
Energizing.
They're disciples of the guru who claims his therapy,
Depression, arthritis, cancer,
is a miracle cure. And science is proving him right.
We good.
The remarkable results on Sunday night, 8:30.
For a really clean home, try CLR.
All right, let's do it.
I'll start outside, you start inside.
CLR easily dissolves built-up calcium, limescale and rust. Soak your shower head in CLR to get it running like new. For crystal clear shower screens, apply, wait 2 minutes, then wipe hard water stains away. CLR's a safer choice that cleans kettles, dishwashers and washing machines.
Wow, it's like a different house.
CLR. See your home in a new light, guaranteed.
Everyone loves the taste of Flora, but did you know Flora is made with sunflower and canola, has less than half the saturated fat of butter, and contains no artificial flavours or colours? Make the right choice for your family. Flora, great taste from the goodness of plants.
Start in front at the jump with Ladbrokes this Saturday. Get fixed odds plus 30% on every runner in races 1 to 4 at Randwick and Caulfield. Ladbrokes, back yourself.
Yep, you're still feeling it, Mick. With capped price servicing, there's one less worry.
Nothing spoils that Toyota value feeling. Get 2.9% finance across the 2018 Kluger range. Search Toyota value. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
The Nick Scarley Autumn Sale ends Sunday. Prices have fallen with savings on quality furniture up to half price. Hurry, the Nick Scarley Autumn Sale ends Sunday.
How do you manage your cholesterol? As a Spartan or as a denialist? Be a realist and choose a healthy lifestyle and delicious Flora Proactive Daily to reduce your cholesterol in just 21 days.
This Championships Day, get 4 extra Super Bigs with Tab Touch. Choose boosted odds or run second money back up to $25 on any 4 Australian thoroughbred races. So better your bet with Tab Touch. Gamble responsibly.
From the ground up, Australia's tradies pitch in, building a home to help the best cause of all.
One of the most unique and heartfelt auctions in Australia.
Packed with the most modern innovations, right down to the kitchen that can clean itself. New Better Homes, coming up next on 7.
Hello again. A few clouds around today. Almost 28 degrees was our top in the city. It was a cooler 25 in Kalamunda, up to 29 for Bullsbrook and 27 for Cottesloe and for Fremantle today. That much-needed rainfall over parts of the Pilbara and Gascoyne should continue over the weekend, and we can see a lot of storm activity across the state tomorrow. On local waters, east to northeasterly, shifting westerly in the middle of the day, then northwest tomorrow evening. So a mostly sunny start to the weekend, 28 tomorrow. We could see some showers and a storm about the hills in the afternoon, and if you're heading to the Derby, it should be a pleasant 23 degrees by evening bounce down. On Sunday, though, we have a high chance of showers in the morning and the afternoon, then showers on Monday and Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Here's Monica.
Thanks, Sam, and enjoy your holiday. Now, last week, we met one of the Swan River's newest dolphin babies and invited the public to give it a name. Well, from hundreds of entries from Today Tonight viewers, a winner has been chosen. Here's Heather McDonald.
That's Cruise. Hi, Cruise.
Every dolphin in the Swan and Canning Rivers has a name.
That's Zari. We've got some new ones.
All except the newest arrivals, that is, including this 5-month-old baby.
Because we don't know the sex of the calf, it's better to go for a name that is neutral.
So researchers and Today Tonight invited the public to choose the perfect name.
A lot of people like to give names that mean something around the water.
From hundreds of entries, the judges decided on Sue Friel's suggestion of Zephyr, which means gentle breeze, and appropriate given the calf's often spotted with its mum in the water around Zephyr Cafe in East Fremantle. While researchers are thrilled to finally name this baby, they were also saddened to find Moon's calf had died this week after becoming tangled in a crab pot.
We've had 7 dolphins over the last 10 years or so who have died from entanglement-related causes.
A tragic and timely reminder to leave the river as you found it.
Take home your rubbish with you. We've got 66 special fishing line bins around the river park now to help with that.
Preserving a pristine environment for future generations.
Join us next week for your Easter seafood guide, the best buys and how to cook the perfect fish, plus Perth's odd couples. Do opposites really attract? The secret to a successful, long-lasting relationship at 6:30 on Monday. Stay on 7 Hour for better homes and gardens. Have a wonderful weekend.
The Wing